Is your New Year's resolution to go to the gym? Don't worry, for me 11 years ago, that was also my New Year's resolution. I wanted to get in there to be as strong as possible and build as much muscle as possible. But I had no basics to go off. So here are 5 basics that I've got for you to make sure you can get stronger and also fitter, leaner, or lose weight. Before we get started though, make sure you subscribe to our channel and also click the bell so you get notifications on when we release videos every Wednesday. Our videos will cover things from exercise to workouts to also lifestyle and nutrition based tips that will help you get further in the gym. So let's get started on our list of 5 basics. So these 5 basics are things that I still implement as a coach to all my clients that come to my studio and also to all my online clients across the world. These 5 tips are so useful that most people actually implement it. You just may not know it because, to be honest, only the people who write the programs would understand. So I'm going to tell you what they actually are when we implement it to our programs and things that you should implement if you're writing your own too. Tip number 1, make sure you prioritize compound-based movements. Now, if you don't know what a compound-based movement is, these are exercises that use multiple muscles in the one movement. Just from that line alone, you know it's going to be worth your while, because when you can work multiple exercises in the one movement, you can actually get more energy expenditure and build more muscles too. When it comes to these movements, you're looking at things like squats and lunges for your lower body as well as deadlifts. And then when you're looking at shoulders-based exercises or upper body-based exercises, you're looking at push-ups, shoulder press, barbell press, overhead, and also lat pull-downs and chin-ups. These are the exercises that you really want to prioritize. So if you don't know how to do them, I highly recommend you have a look at our movement library and we'll show you how to do those exercises as well. Tip number 2, when it comes to these compound-based exercises, you also want to prioritize technique over weight. The reason why is that if you're using wrong technique, you can only get so far and you can potentially hurt yourself as well. The weight is not the thing that actually helps you progress. The stimulus is what we're looking at in the muscle, and it doesn't need to be as big as you think. So work on your technique. This is going to take you further and further as opposed to just adding more weight, which can potentially hurt you. I highly recommend, if you can, implement some sort of periodization or have some sort of plan to make sure you go light to heavy. And this could be as simple as adding 2 kilos every single week that you do it. I know it doesn't sound like much, but 2 kilos every single week when you increase ends up being 104 kilos per year. Now, I'm not saying that this is how exactly it progresses because that'd be amazing, but you want to make sure you understand that concept because technique is always going to prioritize over weight. Now, on a side note, if you don't know how your technique looks, don't be afraid to film it and then compare it to a comparison that you know is correct. So, if you can, also video your exercises so you can double check it and see how it looks. Because what you are doing and what you perceive you are doing is generally not exactly what's happening. Tip number 3, be patient. I know you want to get the results straight away. I know you want to be able to do things as fast as possible, but just be patient and slow it down. I've found that in my time as a trainer and working in commercial gyms and even here, I get a lot of people who want to work really, really fast. But what happens is their technique starts to slop and they even forget what the cues are and what the exercise was, because all they're focusing on is moving fast and getting the heart rate up. Why do we think like that? I think it probably stems from our background as kids, where all we did was get our heart rate up. And to be honest, most of our sports coaches back in primary school or high school, wherever school that you came from, it was all about just getting the heart rate up. Now we're looking at quality over quantity. So slow it down, be patient, and you can speed it up as you go ahead. And generally, I would say in the first 2 to 3 weeks, if you have a good program, it should be focusing on technique and slowly increasing the weight as it goes by. It should never be difficult in the first week. Tip number 4 does continue on with number 3, and it's about the mentality. You're not there for a workout. And what I mean by that is because everything that you do is considered a skill. So you need to understand that if you've never squatted before, if you've never lunged before or deadlifted before, you're going in there to practice that skill in lunging, deadlifting, and squatting. But you can't go in there thinking it's going to be an automatic workout. Because if it is, you're thinking of throwing something else out to bring something else in. And in this instance, you're throwing out the practice just to get your heart rate up. So you have to ask yourself, is this going to benefit me long term if I'm not practicing the skill? That's something for you to answer. But I know for a fact that if you're going into practice, you're definitely going to get more worth out of it because you're going to progress from week to week because you have that mentality on it. So I highly recommend you take this on board. Tip number 5, no matter who you are, is to make sure you rest. I know it sounds a bit odd because you want to go to the gym to get fitter, but when you go to the gym, you're not actually getting fitter. You're actually breaking down the body, and when you take time away from the gym, that's when your body starts to build itself up. So that's when your body goes, hey look, I need to get fitter through my lungs, and you start to increase. You go, hey look, my muscles are getting a bit sorer, they need to build up. So rest is very important. I highly recommend that most people should rest at least 3 days a week, but this doesn't mean you go back to doing nothing. This could be stretching, foam rolling, even going for active recovery days like walking. So you're doing something more low intense. But I still highly recommend that you don't go to the gym on that day and spend some easy stuff around the house or around your neighborhood going for a walk or even going for something light like walking in the pool. This is going to help you a lot more than just going to the gym 7 days a week, and eventually you might burn out, which is not what we want. This is a long-term journey. So those are the 5 gym basics that I highly recommend for anyone out there who's looking to start a resolution. So if you liked any of those, comment down below and let me know which one really resonated with you. Now, if there's anyone out there who has actually gone through the whole New Year's resolution and maybe you've implemented something else, let me know. I'm always curious to know what other people have done to make them a little bit more fitter or stronger, or something that we can pass on to the beginners that are coming on in 2021. Thanks again for watching my video. I hope this was very informative. If you feel like you have a friend who might benefit from this, don't forget to share this video to them. And also for yourself, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe as well, make sure you click the bell, get notified when we release a video every single Wednesday. And if you have a topic that you want me to cover, don't be afraid to comment on the video below and let me know, what would you like me to talk about? And if you happen to be that person who's already going to the gym regularly, don't forget, if you see someone brand new in the gym, help them out, because we've all started somewhere and we could definitely benefit from growing our community.